Experts say one pill can kill.
When you consider that the amount of fentanyl that could kill us, is on tip of a fingertip.
I'm getting so tired of being tired, and I am so tired of my tiredness making me sad. I'm overly emotional, and I'm pretty sure it's just because I'm tired.
Meet Mila. She was called a miracle baby when she was born. At the time, her mother was paralyzed on the entire left side of her body. She was in an accident 3 years earlier. Mila survived. Charlie and Matthew are her brothers. The family lives in the Central Valley, in the foothills of the Sequoia Nevada mountains. The sun rises over the peaks at dawn. It illuminates railroad tracks that crisscross groves of oranges and walnuts, vegetable patches and dairy spread across California's Central Valley. Matthew says Mila grew up to be whip smart. He says she became a young woman who was easy to laugh with and to befriend. She attended a university prep charter school, and Mila dreamed of attending medical school. But beneath the surface, her brother says there was deep anguish. A doctor prescribed Xanax, a fast-acting tranquilizer to control anxiety when she was a senior in high school. It is meant to help with panic disorders too. She got a job at a local diner and put off college for a year. Her brother says she made friends with her coworkers. Text messages, diary entries, and social media posts provide fragmented memories. They are the bits and pieces of Mila's story.
I fell asleep for a little bit, but then I woke up and then I started crying because I remembered that it's still a kitty day.
Mila has not slept in 3 days. She felt ill at manic for several hours. She has dyed her eyebrows a deep shade of emerald green. The latest regimen of antidepressants for bipolar disorder are not stabilizing her mood. They are making things worse. Fentanyl has two faces. It has been used in surgery since the 1960s. Nasal spray and pill form followed. But by the 1990s, a fentanyl pain patch was developed to treat chronic pain. It was used to treat the pain of cancer patients. Fentanyl has now become Main Street. It is used to cut heroin, cocaine, and other drugs. It is developed in underground laboratories. It also comes from China, where there are 5,000 pharmaceutical manufacturers according to the Brookings Institution, a Washington, D.C. think tank. But relations between the two countries are tense. Brookings maintains that Beijing is not so willing to cooperate with Washington on counter-narcotics. China now diverts a large percentage of fentanyl through a different route. Mexican drug cartels smuggle fentanyl from China into the United States, according to the study by Brookings. Adding fentanyl to heroin, cocaine, or counterfeit pills makes them stronger. It increases the chances for addiction. Users do not always know their tolerance for opioids. Experts say one pill can kill. Mary Brennan is the head of the Special Narcotics Prosecutor's Office in New York.
I was tracking fentanyl deaths, hearing about it across the United States and seeing evidence of it in our seizure. I hear all the time people ask me, why are they doing this? Aren't they killing their customers? And my response to that is they're making a lot of money, and there's something called inelastic demand. If you've ever studied economics, where regardless of what the cost of the product is, or in this case, the danger of the product, there is a market for it, a steady market. There's a market that's going to buy it regardless. And that's the tragedy of it all.
Just trying is hard. My entire life is the reason why I want to go. And it doesn't have to do with any guy.
Mila's anxiety got worse. She was emotionally insecure, according to her brother Matthew. It showed in relationships with boys. He says she always ended up with a broken heart. Her condition got worse during one relationship. Her brother says he saw telltale signs of financial and emotional abuse. There was a DUI. Then she became pregnant, and she miscarried. Her boyfriend broke up with her after she lost the baby. She was laid off from work in the middle of the pandemic. She was stuck at home, and she had to pay expensive fines for her DUI. Mila's brother Charlie is the one who discovered her in the family's home. She died on her bedroom floor on April 13th, 2021. The coroner's report lists the cause of death as fentanyl related. Overdose deaths have gone up over the last 20 years, according to the Center for Disease Control. It began with overdoses from opioid painkillers in the 1990s. Then heroin caused the most deaths. And now it is fentanyl. Experts say it is an epidemic.
Matthew is here. I'll give you guys the floor.
Awesome, thank you. Hi, Emily. Thank you so much for joining me today. Okay, I'm with Dr. Emily Einstein from the National Institute on Drug Abuse. One thing I really wanted to ask what are some of the complexities of substance abuse disorders and mental illness? Like how do they inform each other or exacerbate one another? Or does one cause one or the other? Can you give us any idea of that?
So these can be both biological and social or environmental. And it depends on the individual person, which one might emerge before the other. So it's possible that sometimes people will start using substances as a way to self-treat symptoms of another psychiatric illness. It's also possible that substances are taken first and someone develops another psychiatric illness after they already have a substance use disorder.
You got an angle. Look at your angle. Strut pose.
Her brother Matthew says what he has learned about life and death could fill a book. The future feels stolen.
You know, my agency works with a lot of agencies in foreign countries. Mexico is tough. It's really tough to kind of get traction there and feel comfortable working on those kinds of issues there. I mean, look, these are cruel, ruthless organizations, multi-billion-dollar organizations, and it's very difficult.
It's the cartel for a reason. They're pretty ruthless.
Right.
But has there any attention being paid on the users and discouraging people from opioids across the board? I mean, I do know that people are catching on now, especially with the more that people overdose and the more people know that any drug can be mixed with fentanyl. I think it's starting to catch on to people around the street that they're just like, all right, something's not right, you know?
I hope. I mean, I can only look at overdose rates, which are horrifying.
Tool that is available right now are fentanyl test strips. So these are used if people dissolve some of their drug supply in water, they can test them with fentanyl test strips to determine if fentanyl is present. I would say that it seems like most of the illicit drugs on the market now are at least at risk of fentanyl contamination. And some examples of occurrences in which this is most dangerous are for people who don't take opioids normally, but take something like cocaine or methamphetamine. So both of those have been increasingly contaminated with fentanyl. So a person might not have tolerance to opioids and then is exposed to this very potent opioid, which increases overdose risk. And then another novel threat are counterfeit pills that are pressed to look like pharmaceuticals that are legally available, but these are illegal versions that contain fentanyl and can increase risk of overdose as well. Another novel approach that has been used in Europe and Australia and Canada for quite some time are overdose prevention centers. So you may have seen that New York opened the first 2 that were legally sanctioned in the United States, and Rhode Island recently passed legislation to allow for a pilot program of these centers in Rhode Island. And the idea there is that people would bring their own drugs to the overdose prevention center, where they would use them under supervision of medical personnel who would be able to reverse an overdose should one occur.
Oh, I'm not trying to get wet. This is what I get. Okay, now let's go, let's go.
He tells Mila's story not for pity. He wants people to look for behavior that mirrored his sister's. He wants that to happen before their lives are also changed. For Collegian Wired, this is Martin Renteria reporting.